Hey guys, this is Srini and you're watching Python tutorial videos on my YouTube channel Python for Microscopists. In the last couple of tutorials, we had a quick introduction to Pandas, which is the data handling and manipulation library for Python. And we looked at how to read CSV file, how to delete columns and delete rows. And let's continue on the same topic also in this tutorial. And let's cover the topics of sorting and grouping data. Now, what data are we looking at? Again, a quick introduction to the Python file. Well, this is the one we generated in the last tutorial. Let me go ahead and delete it. And this is the file that we are looking at, a CSV file that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns, and the first column with no name and the other columns with name, and the column 3 has a few missing values. Column 4 is practically useless in this case. And a quick summary again, these are different images, 25 images in each set. Set 1 has 25, set 2 has 25 images, and each image has been manually analyzed to count for number of cells in this image, and the values are displayed right here. And the images were also analyzed automatic way, meaning using the code that we have developed using watershed based image segmentation. And I changed a parameter for thresholding, and then I got like 3 values for each of these image. So this is the data set we are working with. So as usual, let's go ahead and start by importing pandas as PD. Okay, and also getting our data frame ready by reading CSV, and our file name is, let me check, manual versus auto.csv. Okay, so we are all set. And again, as usual, I would like to run this to make sure everything's fine. My data frame 100 by 7 size, I'm good to go. Now what should we do? First of all, let us sort the values. Okay, first of all, let's understand what we have. Again, print df.head actually prints out the top 5, and you can see these are the values we have, and manual 2, 93, 90, 83, 98, and so on. And you can also look at df.describe, okay, which describes this, and describe is for each of this column, what is the minimum value, maximum, and all of that stuff. Okay, so what shall we do first? Let's actually sort this each column, by certain column value. So, or let's sort the data by column. That's what I meant to say, sorry. And assign that to a new data frame. So let's call this df2, which is nothing but sort values. This is it. It's as easy as doing this. Sort values using what? Using, let's say, the manual column. Okay, sort values using the manual column. Now, do you want them to be descending or ascending? So I'll just say ascending equals to true. You don't have to give this. The default, I think, is descending. You can check that. Okay, equals to true. Now let's just do df, what did we do, 2. Okay, and let's only print the manual column. Okay, let's only print the manual column and see what we have. So there you go. It starts off with 80, 80, 81, 81, 82, all of that. And then it goes all the way down to, again, these are not the numbers. These are the missing values that we have here. So this is it. This is how you sort it just based on one of these columns. Now, if you want to print multiple columns, you can actually do manual, and what else did we do? Let me look at the data. Let's just do auto threshold. Okay, to underscore th underscore 2. Okay, and wrong one. Okay, and I believe let's do this. Let's see if that works. Okay, yeah, there you go. So we printed this. Again, it did is we are sorting it based on the manual. Ascending is true from low to high, and now I'm printing manual and everything, auto threshold. I'm just in fact, I could have saved this as df3 equals to this. Okay, So now to select a subset of rows, okay, so let's delete this. If you want to select only a subset of rows, we actually looked briefly, about this in our previous tutorial where we deleted, certain rows, certain columns. But let's actually get only a subset. So I just want to get the data frame from, I'm looking at the Excel. Let's just do 20 to 30. Okay, so just from 20 to 30. And let's run this. Well, I'm just doing df or original data frame, which is okay, but you get the point. So it goes all the way from 20 inclusive, again, just like NumPy arrays. 20 is inclusive, 30 is non-inclusive, meaning it stops at 29. Okay, so this is how you get a subset. Now we can mix the two that we just talked about. Okay, so what we can do is df, let's actually do dot loc, okay, and let's go from 20 to 30. Okay, and let's get 20 to 30 for specific columns. Okay, so previously we looked at how to get specific columns and how to get specific rows, but let's combine those two. That's all I'm trying to do here. Okay, these two, and which one do we want? We want manual and auto AUTOTH_2. Okay, I think that should do. Did I make any mistakes here? Those two. Yes, I did make a mistake here, right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and print it. And there you go. From 20 to, oh, it's including 30. I have no clue why. Oh, that's because it's not, so it's not just a subset that we are actually getting. We are using this function called loc. It's actually inclusive, and this is literally something I learned right now, including 20 and 30, and then it's showing manual and auto threshold right there. Okay. So now you can also select, while we're on the topic of sorting and selecting, you can also select, what should we do? I'm looking at the topics that I wanted to cover in this tutorial. Yeah, let's select rows using the row values. Like, I think we talked about this in the last tutorial, but it's worth again talking about one more time. So what, let's create, let's say set2 data frame. Let's create a new data frame, but I only want values that are equal to set2. In the previous tutorial, I talked about how to get set2, 3, 4, right? Because we dropped where the value is not equal to set1. Now let's just set the value equals to set2, okay? And this is data frame of a data frame where my unnamed, okay, unnamed 0, right? That's what it's called, unnamed 0. That's the column name. That's where my sets are. Where my unnamed 0, did I get it? Okay, equals to, what is it equal to? Set2. Set2. Let me look at this line again. My new data frame, I could have called it df2, right? My new data frame is equals to a data frame where the data frame, where the unnamed 0 within that data frame, okay, is equals to set2. I think that should do. Now let's go ahead and print our set2 underscore df. Okay, again, this is nothing different. I mean, we have done this in our last tutorial, so hopefully this should be fine. Okay, what is it saying? Key error unnamed 0. Oh, extra space over there. I don't have anything like that. Okay, let's go ahead and run this again. So there you go. So now my new data frame contains only 25 entries, all set2. Okay, so this is again extracting a subset. I covered this in our last tutorial, but I think it's very important when it comes to data handling. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, what else can we do? You can, again, a couple more functions that I want to show. Let's say print the maximum value of your new data frame. Let's say set2 underscore df. Okay, so the maximum value in your data frame for what column? Okay, so for the column of let's just look at manual. Okay, that's the easiest one to type. So print the maximum value of manual. So let's go ahead and run this now. So the maximum value is 120 in here. Okay, I can't see it fast enough. Is Yeah, it is 120. Pretty sure it's somewhere in, oh, right there. Okay, so that is the maximum value. Just similarly, you can try to find minimum and a whole bunch of other these are basically using the built-in functions. Okay, now you can the fun part starts now. So let's actually start doing data filtering. Okay, let's go back to our original data frame. Makes sense. Original data frame, because we understand the data in our original data frame. So let's just say print, or you can assign it to a new data frame. Okay, print, we tried maximum, but let's now actually try the data frame of manual column. Okay, I mean the manual column in our original data frame. Print all the values that are greater than 100. Let's just put a dot right there. Okay, so let's see what it prints. It prints something a bit different than what you think. Okay, again, if you think about it, the double equal, greater than or equal, these are all logical operators. So the output is true or false. Is this value greater than 100? No, false. Is this true? True. But if you want to do this exercise so you can extract these values, you just want these values, you don't care about true or false, the way to do that is, again, put a data frame right there. Okay, and let me be a bit careful in terms of these brackets where to put. I think this should do the trick. Let's run this one more time. Did it work? Print. Let me go ahead and see df. Okay, of data frame manual. Yeah, I think this should. This is pretty much it. Except it's not formatted in a good way. Let's see. No, I am actually seeing 91 manual. Just give me a second. Let me go through this. I often make like very simple mistakes. So let's see, print. Okay, that makes sense. Data frame makes sense. Data frame of, okay, manual, manual. Okay, that's fine. There you go. This is the problem, because this data frame goes from here to right there. Okay, this should probably work. There you go. So sorry about that, but mistakes, you have to make them so you can learn from them. So now all the manual values here are greater than 100. You do not have, like, obviously there is no 0, 1, and there's no 4, 5. You can see some of these are missing. Okay, so this is how you sort the values. Now you can let's do something fun. Let's actually say in the manual greater than 100, but then in the auto they should be less than 100. It's basically saying that, hey, in manual we are counting more than 100, but when we do it in an automated way, we are counting less than 100. So how do we do that? So we already have this. Again, let me be careful here. So we already have this manual greater than 100 part. All we need to do is say and. Let me go ahead and copy this so it makes it easier. Okay, so and instead of manual, I want to do AUTH threshold 2, and let's put this less than, and let's think about this brackets right now, right? So we have this, okay, and we have this that we need to close, and df, and we have manual greater than 100, and we have this is where we do not want to close it, right? So we are comparing this. So and df and oh, sorry about that, I shouldn't have copied that. And df auto threshold 100, and I think this should work, although it's yelling at me invalid syntax. I am extremely horrible at these things, you know, when I have to look at, okay, let's do this exercise one more time. Sorry for doing this on video, but okay, df and what's missing? Oh, okay, right? So this is the data frame that's going to end there, and we started this, and then df manual greater than 100, this df, and this one works fine, less than 100. What is my column name? Oh, I never closed this. I never closed that one. I think this should work. There you go. Sorry about that. I wasted almost 2 minutes of your life, but this is pretty much it. I am so horrible at these brackets, and always have to manually put my fingers and then count. Anyway, this is the way. So basically, what we are doing is okay. This is my entire data frame right there, and manual greater than 100 and auto threshold less than 100. So if I go back here, I should basically see every value here should be greater than 100, and auto threshold 2 should be all less than 100 right there. So you can add logic, you can extract these, and I could have actually assigned this to instead of printing, assign this to a different data frame, so you can work with that data again. Okay, now you can I'm thinking about whether I should end the video here, but why not? Let's continue. We're having too much fun, so why not continue? So you can loop and iterate. Remember, if you have a list, if you have an array, you can use for loop and go through each and every entry within that loop, right? So you can do exactly the same within our data frame. You can go through each and every of your rows or columns, and then you can do certain stuff. So let's go ahead and let's say for, let's call this index and row. God, if I can type correctly. Okay, so for index and row, it's called iterrows. Okay, iterate through rows. Okay. Let's actually give, rather than going through, so what shall we do? So we have a manual value. We have 3 auto values that came from our code. Let's average the 3 auto and then compare them with manual. Is it like, how does it compare with the manual values? So for index row in iterrows, okay, so this is, God, again, I cannot seem to type today. So for index row in df dot iterating through my rows, okay, so what do we want to do? Let's just do some sort of a math, okay? Our average auto is equals to row, in each row I want to auto, okay, underscore threshold underscore 2. Okay, there's a better way of doing this, but let me just plus, let me just copy and paste here, makes our life easy, plus this, and again plus that. Okay, so let's look at this one more time. So all I'm trying to do is row auto threshold 2, row auto threshold 3, row auto threshold 4. We add it all and let's divide it by 3. Okay, and after that, let's go ahead and print average, whatever that average auto is. But then our value probably would end up being some sort of a decimal point with a whole bunch of, let's actually round it. So you know how to do this, right? So round average auto, okay? So this gives me a rounded value for this average auto. Let's also print out the manual values so we can just compare them. Manual, let's see, does that work okay? It should. Let's go ahead and run, and there you go. Again, what we have done is for index row in iterrows, okay, we are going through each row. My average auto is for each row, okay, look at this value, that value in these, in these individual columns, add them, divide by 3, and then print the rounded value of my average auto and print the manual value. So this is a good way And now we can compare. Here it's auto, manual is giving me 92, but auto is given only 80. Okay, so there is a difference between these two values. Anyway, so you can do iterations, and that's the whole point of this. And let's finally end this by looking at group by, which is again a good way of extracting data or doing math for a subset of your data. So what should we do? First of all, let's go ahead and print. You know what? I changed my mind. Let us stop here because we already covered a lot of topics, and let me save this group by. And I also intended to work with null data, so let me actually save it for another video. Don't want to overwhelm with a lot of content. So again, as usual, if you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel and then leave comments if you have anything to say about this video. And let's meet in our next tutorial. Thank you very much. And of course, you know the content of our next tutorial. It's going to be using the group by. Okay, so I hope you'll watch the next one. Thank you very much.